Crusaders inside to Harvey. They bring it back on top. Cummings driving over there to Pinder. Back to Cummings. Outside to Bain. His jump shot no good. The ball lost out of bounds by Antonio Davis of the Rattlers. Crusaders get another opportunity with 47 seconds to go, and they're leading by 12, 15-3.
They've gone to the zone, Nuvi, and doing some things inside. That may help out a little bit.
Crusaders come away with the rebound on the miss by Brian Bain. They'll reset it. Falls with that rebound for Catholic High. Perhaps looking for the final shot of the quarter. Brian Bain working against the defense. Off to Cummings. Cummings controlling for the Crusaders now in the midcourt. Feeds it to Bain. He brings it back on top to Cummings. Cross court, they go to Anderson. Anderson. And the Crusaders being very patient here. 8 seconds now. Time to go to work. Here comes Cummings. Driving, dishes to Bain. Three-pointer, no good. Right over the backboard.
Tried to do a little bit, but too much with that one. But a good quarter here for Catholic High, and finally C.I. Gibson on the scoreboard with only points ticks on the scoreboard. Interesting enough, they have finally broken the scoreless drought.
15-3, the Catholic High Crusaders lead it after 1. We'll take a break, come back, talk about that first quarter after this. We're back at the Campbell Geologics Gym. The Catholic High Crusaders leading the C.I. Gibson Rattlers 15-3 after the first period. Let's go over to Charles Fisher. Fish.
Thanks a lot, Nuvi. Despite the 15-13 lead here after 1, Coach Charlie Rubin still not satisfied with the way his team is playing in the first half. He wants them to keep up the defense. He still wants them to get the ball inside to Trevor Harvey. He also wants them to stay focused, saying that, hey, you can't relax just yet with a 12-point lead. You know that the C.I. Gibson Rattlers can come back in this game. He wants them to go out and play another half of baseball or basketball and then come back in the second half and play another half and put it all away.
There's a look at Coach Softy Rubens and the Catholic High Crusaders looking to win the 1999 Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic, but we've got 3 more quarters of basketball to play, and the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, Rick, certainly have other plans.
They know what the game plan was before they came in here. Coach Kevin Johnson sat down with his ball club after getting rid of Saka and said to them, look, we got to come out here, keep the ball away from Trevor Harvey. But they haven't kept the ball away from Brian Bain and Derek Cummings. That's been much of a problem for them in doing so. What he has to do now is tell his ball club here in the second quarter, they've got to go inside, forget what the defense of the Crusaders show you. Take the ball inside. Let's do the things that we are used to doing, but they are not getting Catholic High caught up in a race like they did against SAC.
Crusaders basketball as we get the second quarter underway now. And Derek Cummings taking it straight to the hoop, laying it up and in. He just split the defense and went straight to the bucket.
Derek finding a seam again. They are double teaming Trevor down low, so they're going to leave those lanes open, and the guards can do some things there.
We're going to have a pushing foul on like Timmy Solomon that time.
I think Timmy got caught.
Derek Cummings went to the floor, but there was a pushing foul on Timmy Solomon.
Timmy created that, Nuvi. What he did is he basically came in and he reached and pulled, thereby the guards move over, and thereby Cummings just tripped over, and he couldn't stop himself because of Timmy getting involved in the play early.
17-3, Catholic High as Rattlers feed inside of Bertram Cooper. He puts it up and in, and they're going to need a lot more of that from the big man on the inside.
Agreed. Got to go inside a little bit. Again, Cordell Munnings a little bit suspect defensive-wise, and that's what they got to do if they're going to get back in this one.
Here's Harvey. Back to Bain. Takes it back to Harvey. Spin around. Jump shot up the front of the rim. Brian Bain underneath there. Loose ball. And we're going to have a jump ball. Possession now should go to the Rattlers this time.
Good move by the Rattlers to swarm the basketball. They got it back, and now let's see if they can cash in here on the offensive end of the floor.
Antonio Davis for the Rattlers had it stolen by Brian Bain. Bain taking it all the way. He gets the layup, but that's the second steal Bain has taken from the Rattlers tonight.
Brian had said before the start of this game, this is his home court. He knows what's happening. He's got a point to prove. He wants a title.
On the inside that time, missing the layup underneath the basket, Christopher Brown, and here come the Crusaders pushing it. Miller slaps it away from Solomon. Ball on the floor, and Timmy Solomon calls timeout to save the possession here for the Crusaders.
Good heads-up play by Timmy Solomon. He realized he couldn't get him off the floor. If he did, it would have been a travel. So what he did, he said, look, let me call the timeout very quickly. They got a few to spare. It could help his ball club, and I turn it over.
The other look at Kevin Johnson, the head coach of the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, or at least the back of his head anyways. He talks to his players, sure he wants to get them more active defensively and offensively when they come out of the timeout. There's a look at the score, 19-5 with 6:39 to play in the first half.
You know what Kevin's going to say to his team here at the 5:39 mark? He wants them to do the same thing they did as the start of the quarter. Take the ball on the inside. Make Trevor Harvey play defense. Trevor will be in there, and he's going to be a force to reckon with. He had some problems in the tournament side of it, moving too far near the basket. Make him come out a little bit, and I think it may help him in the long run. But Trevor is pretty tough when it comes to block shots.
Bain inbounds to Cummings, and they swing it out on top to Timmy Solomon. Solomon has it stripped. Here's Miller up court to Davis. And Derek Cummings, another big block for the Catholic High Crusaders. This kid can get him. Timmy Solomon back the other way for Catholic High. Loses it. Antonio Davis. And there's a steal almost by Derek Cummings, knocking out of bounds. But Derek Cummings, two fantastic back-to-back defensive plays for the Crusaders.
Derek Cummings, as small as he is, has got a game. Nubi. This kid can get up. He can do a lot of things because of his legs.
Crusaders trying to get another steal there. And there's a foul on Timmy Solomon. And Timmy Solomon, perhaps the smallest guy on the basketball court, but he's making his presence felt, even though it's a foul.
Well, Coach Rubens is going to let him stay in the ballgame. He's going to let him play. No, he's not. He's going to sit him down a little bit too aggressive. They'll bring back in Mikos Anderson and let Timmy think it over, and he's going to be talked to by Robert Knapp. Wants to get in his head and tell him, look, settle down, baby. Lot of ball to go.
Branford Miller. Here now, Ronaldo Russell trying to feed it inside to Bertram Cooper. Got it inside. Cooper put up the move on Munnings. Munnings called for the foul.
And that could be trouble down the line as Cordell Munnings picked up his second foul. So right now, they're going to have to go back to Forbes. Ronaldo will try to check into the ball game and let Cordell sit down. He's a little bit aggressive. He is also foul prone. And I don't think Coach Rubens wants to afford him that third foul very quickly, as Ronaldo Forbes will check into the ball game for Catholic High.
Cooper inbounds it for the Rattlers. Davis brings it back across. Over to Miller there, looking inside to Forbes. And underneath the basket, putting up and in is, make that Christopher Brown, rather, for the Rattlers.
And right now, Catholic High will set up the defense, the offense, and now it'll be Cummings, and they'll go inside to the big guy, Harvey. Can't control it. Again, he was not looking, not keeping his head up. That's a turnover.
19-7, 5:40 to go in the first half. Crusaders by 12 over the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. There's another feed inside to Bertram Cooper. Couldn't get the handle on it. Lost it out of bounds. Crusaders will get the possession.
What Coach Rubens has done is that he's given up some defense by bringing Forbes in the game. He's more so of a offensive player. So now Cummings and also Brian Bain will have to pick up the slack, and they've got to get Mikos Anderson into the game.
Brian Bain off to Anderson. There's Derek Cummings. Pulls up for a 10-foot jump shot. No good. Rebound cleared by Brown for C.I. Gibson. And here come the Rattlers. Davis to Ronaldo Russell. Back to Davis for three off the front of the rim. And Crusaders clear it. Forbes with the rebound. 4:51 to play. First half. 19-7 Catholic High.
They're going to go inside to the big guy now. Double team, triple team out there. Let's see what they do.
Passing game between Bain and Harvey as he turns around and just drops it in that time.
Well, they want him to take that shot more, and that's what a lot of the coaches are looking at. They need him to turn around and shoot that J from out there.
Branford Miller for three, no good. Bertram Cooper has his shot blocked by Forbes as he spun around with the jumper. Still Rattlers basketball here. Davis sends it over to Miller, looking inside for Brown. Feeds it inside to Brown. Brown on the lane. And we're going to have a foul called against Trevor Harvey.
Harvey moving too far underneath the basket, picking up the foul. Again, a little bit winded. And I think what may happen is they may take him out a little bit and see what happens here. Also checking in will be Frank Hagan, and that's exactly what he's going to do. And going to the line to shoot for the Rattlers.
Christopher Brown. He'll have 2 free throw attempts. Take a look at Christopher Brown from the charity stripe. Nothing but bottom of the nets in that first one. Good looking free throw. Make it 21-8 now. 4 minutes, 12 seconds remaining in the first half, and Brown has a second attempt. See if he can cut even more into the lead of the Crusaders. Second attempt, nothing but strings. 21-9, Catholic High leading the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. Timmy Solomon back in the game for the Crusaders. Ryan Bain driving, had it stolen by Antonio Davis. Off to Brown, and the Rattlers defense has picked up.
Also with Trevor Harvey out of the ball game. Now they are matched up size-wise, and let's see what happens with this one.
Russell back to Johnson for the Rattlers. Looking inside to Christopher Brown. Bain comes away with the steal. Leaves it for Solomon. Over to Bain, going baseline. Stops and pops. No good. Loose ball. Last touch by the Crusaders. So C.I. Gibson gets it back here with 3:28 to play in the half. 21-9 to score.
Now it's time for C.I. Gibson to step it up a little bit. You got a guy like Frank Hagan who's playing in the post. They can go inside, but they've also taken on some of their big bodies. That could be detrimental, but they've got to now find a basket, which is very important. Another turnover by C.I. Gibson.
Turnovers are just plaguing the Rattlers here.
And very quickly, Charlie Rubens wants to talk about something. So while there is a timeout on the floor, the score, 21-9, 3:09. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back to this Kenny Isaac's Gym right after this, everybody.
Welcome back to the Kenny Isaac's Gym. Let's take another look at Derek Cummings' defense. As the Rattlers, Antonio Davis went up for the basket. Watch this guy just get up. Derek Cummings, only about 5'9", really. He can get up there, and he blocked that one. There's a look at Derek Cummings, one of the premier players for the Catholic High Crusaders.
You know, they always say genes is everything, my brother. This kid's dad, years ago in Grand Bahama, played great basketball, and he has got the same kind of ability. He can do some things, and he works at his game. I think that also helps him, and that's why he can get up as quickly as he does.
Crowd on hand here at the Kenny Isaac's Gym. 3:07 to play in the first half. 21-9, Catholic High. Crusaders with the basketball. Number of substitutions for Catholic High as well. They've taken big man Trevor Harvey out. The Rattlers have brought their defense out quite a bit. They've gone really man-to-man almost. Solomon off the Bain on the baseline, lost control there. And now we have a traveling violation called against Christopher Brown. So they turn it back over to the Catholic High Crusaders.
Tried a little bit too much without with the basketball. Should have just gave it up very quickly. And you mentioned the defense now. Look how they match up very well here against Catholic High.
And Forbes all alone there on the bounce pass from Brian Bain. Just laid it up and in easily, untouched, uncontested. 23-9 with just over 2.5 to play here in the first half. Catholic High leading C.I. Gibson. Christopher Ricardo Johnson. And now a foul against Catholic High.
That's going to be called on Frank Hagan. Hagan trying to put a little bit too much body on the play, and he turns around and will foul Christopher Brown, who will go to the line and shoot. So Hagan is in the game. No, they say there's going to be, let's see what they're saying. They're saying, yeah, they're in the bonus, so they'll go to the line and shoot the one-on-one opportunity. That's big now for C.I. Gibson, because they now can pick up some points on the charity stripe.
Here is Brown. He's had some good-looking free throws already tonight. That one, nothing but bottom of the net.
And this is the kind of kid a lot of coaches are looking for. Somebody that can shoot free throws. And we've not seen good free throw shooting in the tournament. And we're going to get a lane violation. Frank Hagan is going to have to get out of the ball game. Right now, Coach Rubens is looking to his bench, but they need him in there to give Trevor a little bit of break. And also notice that Derek Cummings is on the bench as well.
There's Brown, misses that second attempt. We'll have one more. Again, as Hagan entered the lane too early.
And Coach Rubens tells Frank Hagan, go down to the other end of the floor, stay away from the charity line.
And he's laughing himself at Charlie Rubens looking for his first Hugh Campbell basketball championship. Here's Brown, finally knocks down the free throw. Make it 23-11 now.
1 out of 3 ain't bad.
And here come the Crusaders. Bain back on top to Solomon. Anderson to Bain, working against the defense of the Rattlers here, splitting the double team, driving there. And there's a layup by Frank Hagan.
Tell Hagan, get away from the defensive end, play offense, and he gets the back door.
25-11, 2 minutes to go. A near steal by the Crusaders. Antonio Davis open momentarily. Ricardo Johnson back to Davis. Davis being double teamed. He'll get it back out, and Johnson for 3. Air ball cleared by the Crusaders.
Frank Hagan gets in there and clears it down. Frank finally getting in some kind of shape late in the season. Going to be used quite a bit in the ball game.
Bain, the fake and the running jumper in the lane. Make it 27-11, and the Crusaders have taken the Rattlers right out of the game plan. As they go back, Brown went up with it. He is fouled. Well, you wait for him to go to the charity stripe. Let's give you this flashback. 1996 Hugh Campbell Basketball Classic. Tabernacle Baptist and the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. Get that for you in just a moment. That's another great game here with the AF Valley tournament. There's his score, 27-11. As Brown misses the first attempt from the line.
And that's all because he's not taking his time. He's trying to push the ball. He needs to simply set, look at the basket, and let the basketball go. And he's way off the mark on that one.
And Brown missing both attempts that time. Minute 15 to play in the first half. Crusaders 27-11 over the Rattlers. And we have a traveling violation called against Forbes of Catholic High. He turns it over.
Did a little bit too much with the basketball, and Ronaldo, not one of the better ball handlers, and right now they're going to give Brian a break, and you bring Derek Cummings in the game and let him now set the defense for the Catholic High Crusaders.
There's Antonio Davis pulling up top of the key, no good. Christopher Falls with the hard putback for the Rattlers, 27-13 now. Under a minute to go.
Big basket for C.I. Gibson there.
Solomon. Now Cummings in the midcourt there for the Rattlers. There's an air steal. Cummings keeps it, lays it up, no good. Forbes with the rebound. They're pushing it up court. Laying it up, missing it. Davis, but there, Cooper for the putback. As the Rattlers score 4 off. 27-15. The crowd comes to life here, and Hagan underneath by himself for Catholic High answers.
Good look by Timmy Solomon to get the basketball to Frank Hagan. He's playing it up on the offensive side for Catholic High.
29-15 as the first half comes to a close. And that's the first half of play here at the Sakenda Lions Gymnasium. 29-15. Catholic High Crusaders leading the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. As the teams will head to the locker room, let's take a break. We'll come back right after this.
And welcome to the original Hot Patties halftime show. I'm Ricardo Lightman. We're in the half, folks. 29-15. Catholic High leading. You got it, the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. And what a halftime show we have got for you today. Well, when you think about it, the Hugh Campbell basketball tournament has been coordinated by the A.F. Adderley High School for quite a number of years. Well, A.F. Adderley was going to be a junior high at the end of the academic year. What's going to happen to this tournament? Well, we tried to find out. So let's go to that report by Charles Fisher.
Why all the South faces Was it that the Tigers were eliminated 56-46 by the Aquinas Aces?
I feel very disappointed in this team because I know the team had the potential to at least make a Final Four or make a championship run.
As a matter of fact, there'll be no more championship run, and the Big Tiger will roar no more. AF Valley now is a junior school.
I think there should have been a standing ovation knowing that the Tigers are actually going down the history. The school with more history at basketball in the Bahamas, you know. But that nothing was done for them. Hopefully in the championship game they'll recognize them and do something about it.
The Tigers have been the Hugh Campbell 2 championships in the 17-year history of the tournament, but it's going to be hard for the team's #1 fan not to see the Tigers in next year's tournament.
Actually, it's going to be a little hard, right? But, you know, I have something to share because I know to the past years we won the tournament twice, and we did our best the last year before the school become a junior high, and you know, I don't vote for the Tigers. I either got to go for C.I. Gibson or that's my junior school, so I vote for C.I. Gibson. My next school is C.C. Sweden.
The Hugh Campbell without the Tigers, no one know how it's going to be like. We just going to have to wait and see how it is. But you know, the Tigers always there. Never going no less than the quarterfinals like they did just now. So the spirit is still there now, but after this year, without Hugh Campbell, without the Tigers, I don't know what it's going to be like.
Yeah, I guess all things come to an end, you know, and unfortunately, this is AF last time for the Hugh Campbell. I think they've done a tremendous job over the years. You know, they have won 2 of the 17 tournaments. Unfortunately, they wouldn't be here for a 3rd time. But I guess that, you know, whatever happens, you know, happens, and we're not always, you know, in control of what happens. And it sort of grieves me to see, you know, the Tigers not being here anymore, or AF Adley not being in the tournament, you know, saying that they're the host school. But all in all, I think the tournament will continue, and probably later down the road, something else would happen so that AF Adley can be once again representative of this great tournament.
Well, the AF Adley High School again will be no more. It'll be a junior high, and actually for a lot of fans, this tournament is actually the national championship. Exactly what's going to happen with that will be a very interesting one. Now, when you think about basketball, you think about, well, the Tabernacle Baptist Academy Falcons in Grand Bahama. They have been really one of the key teams in this year, in the tournaments here at the AF Adley gym, and also the Kendall Isaacs gym. Well, one of the MVPs came back to watch his team play. Last year's MVP. This kid is pretty good. He says the Tabernacle has a program that has gone beyond leaps and bounds, all because of the coach.
Silky smooth. Team threat from the outside. Just like most MVPs before him, he wished his Hugh Campbell career would last forever.
AF is the gym, it's the shooter's gym, I should say. And I mean, just watching them, it hurts me a little bit because I would like to have another chance to come out there and play with them. But unfortunately, I just sit back and cheer them on, and hopefully they win it again.
Just what separates one of the most successful high school basketball programs from the rest?
I believe it's the coach. To have a coach like Coach Norris, man, that looks out for the kids on and off the court. I think that's where all of it starts off from, because he'll bring a small teenager from here and bring them back up to a higher level of basketball. I think it's the coach.
Difference in this year's team?
Well, I believe that last year's team had a lot of intensity, and we were also together. This year's team is basically the same way, but it's just that you have a lot of younger players who hadn't never played at this level before. So hopefully, time his championship get around, all of them should be able to come together and focus as a nucleus.
Tell you what, it is an interesting scenario that the Tabernacle Baptist Falcons actually are out of this year's tournament, so there's some things to think about. Also, when you look at it, Rick Callahan is the assistant coach at South Carolina University. They're called the Gamecocks down there in Columbia. Well, Rick is here on the island looking for some kids. They're looking for kids who can play basketball. They want them to be intense and also keep going for the entire ball game. This is what he had to say about this year's tournament.
A lot of good athletes from all over the islands, not just Freeport or not just Nassau, but the entire islands. And the coaches work very hard at trying to get their players to become the best players they possibly can.
If you see something that we need to work on, what is that?
The intensity level, playing hard every single play. And the competition, you have to, there's probably 5 really good teams, and then the other teams with the good players have a tough time being challenged every single day.
Yeah, your duty here probably is to look at some talent. What are you basically looking for?
We're actually looking for all kinds of different positions. We're looking for a big player. We're looking for a combination guard. We're also looking for a forward or perimeter player also.
being able to see that and you see the players that you can work with?
Yes, there's some good, very good young players here.
Well, they are some very good players here, and hopefully once they do get back, as like Rick says, looking for some guys who can play intense basketball, he will spread the word around that there are some great kids here in the Bahamas, and they can in turn get some scholarships. Let's take a break. We'll be right back to our halftime show right after this. And welcome back to the original Hot Patties halftime show. I'm Ricardo Life on the score for you, 29-15. Catholic High leading the C.I. Gibson Rattlers, and I tell you what, it's been a pretty good ball game. But Charles Fisher is standing by with the Rattlers coach. Let's go over to Charles Fisher.
Thanks a lot, Ricardo. We're not so happy with Kevin KJ Johnson, coach of the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. Your team finds themselves down 29-15 at the half. What was said in the locker room?
Well, we need to step up our intensity on defense, and we need to execute on offense. And once we do those things, we'll be successful.
In the first quarter, your team didn't do what you wanted them to do, and that's go inside the Bertram Cooper.
Right. I wanted them to go inside of the big man, so we get that big man in foul trouble. We started to do it pretty good, but some crazy shots we took we shouldn't have taken, and they ran out on some fast break, so that really hurt us. But we can get it together in the second half.
29-15 and still a half a ball to play. You know your team plays in spurts, so you must feel happy at least going into the second half, knowing that y'all can turn things around.
Yeah, most definitely. I feel pretty good coming in the second half. I talk to them in the locker room. I tell them, hey, they came over a higher intensity than us. Now we need to come over and win this half and continue playing solid defense. We've been playing defense all year. That's what got us here. So we need to continue doing that, and if we execute on offense, we should be successful.
Well, you heard it there from Coach Kevin KJ Johnson. This C.I. Gibson Rattlers will try to play some tough defense in the second half to try to cut this 29-15 deficit. Back to you, Rick.
Thank you very much, Charles. Tell you what, we're going to take a break, and when we come back, the second half of play, 29-15, Catholic High leading C.I. Gibson. Don't go away yet. We'll be right back.
Jonathan along with Ricardo Lightbourne and Charles Fisher. The Catholic High Crusaders leading the C.I. Gibson Rattlers 29-15 at the half, and we're set for the second half of action. But first, some things to tell you about. The C.I. Gibson Rattlers have really struggled from the floor, and if it wasn't for Christopher Brown, they'd be in an even deeper hole. He's had 8 points on the night so far for the C.I. Gibson Rattlers. They've got to get him even more involved in the offense when we go into the second half. Also for the Catholic High Crusaders, Brian Bain with 8 points. He is leading the way for the Crusaders, and they're looking for a big game from him tonight. Derek Cummings also with 9 points, so the 1-2 punch for the Crusaders, Rick, have certainly done their part in the first half.
Well, they've done their part, and I think what's going to have to happen in the second half is that they're going to have to come back out and play with the same intensity that they had in the first half of play. Talking to the coaching teams before this ball game, they need their kids to stay with the game plan. You turn around and you hear Kevin Johnson, he's saying our kids went away from it somewhat. They are doing some things that is unprecedented of the Rattlers Ball Club, and I think they need to turn that around. On the other side of the coin, you go to Charlie Softly Rubens. He wants his ball club to come back out with the same kind of intensity that they had in the first half. That has to happen. Brian has to be consistent. Derek Cummings, keep the defense and keep things going. The bench, we talked about Catholic High, it is suspect whether they can play. We saw it tonight. Frank Hagan came in and he did a good job.